Force plates are something I've been using in my athlete development preparation program now for around 6 months, and it's been a huge help with working with literally some of the best junior and up-and-coming athletes in Australia. But another environment that I've found them invaluable in is actually a rehabilitation environment. Post-ACL reconstruction surgery, one of the most important things to get in place first is going to be strength. And we're looking at strength on both legs, injured or operative and non-operative. Now, how we go about that is a topic for another day. But something that is often used, and something I used to use previous to using the force plate data, is using normal gym lifts, say a unilateral leg press, a split squat, something like this, and looking at body weight values, so 1.5 times body weight, 1 times body weight, this kind of thing, which can definitely be useful as a target for the patient or the client to aim for in the gym, and gives us indication of how things are progressing. However, what we can see from the force plate data here I've taken this week with a particular ACL client is when we use an isometric mid-thigh pull, which is a nice way of gauging just brute strength in the lower body, we see here in the first circle that his strength levels are fairly similar. So the peak force, so basically his peak strength output, they're fairly similar left to right. It's got about 10% variance, which is absolutely fine, nothing at all. However, the key thing that we're really interested in right now is how quickly it takes him to develop that force. So in the second circle, you can see that it takes significantly longer for the left leg to generate that peak force. So when we're looking at his peak force numbers, things look fairly good, but when we look at how long it takes him to get to that point, there is quite a big discrepancy. Now, another metric we actually looked at was how much force or how strong is he left to right at around 200 milliseconds. That's doing a rep. We look at the time points through that rep and see how much output there is. So 200 milliseconds is something I use with athletes. That's really pretty indicative of the amount of time it takes to change direction, ground contact times for acceleration, this kind of thing. But in a non-sporting environment, so an environment that's quite chaotic and unpredictable, such as firefighting, emergency rescue, which is exactly where this client's going to be going into, there's going to be that chaotic change of direction, moving out the way, maybe a falling object, something like this. So at 200 milliseconds, he actually had a 35% difference. So this is where utilizing force plate data can come in exceptionally useful outside of just looking at gym exercises and how strong is the left leg compared to the right leg. Hopefully that gave you a little insight into how we use force plates within a rehabilitation setting. Over the coming weeks, I'll be expanding on this with more interesting cases, and also showing you how this expands to a strength conditioning, high performance athletic environment too.